Good evening, everybody. I've got a little bush sticking out of the top of my head. I'm Kath Lloyd, and I'm from Make the Change, and it is Let's Talk. And tonight we are talking about how do you leave behind what you don't want any longer. So this could be about things in your life, it could be about your feelings, your thoughts, your behaviours, anything like that. And yes, I'm sort of out in the, well, not in the wilderness. I'm up here in Edinburgh today, and so I'm just outside, so I hope that the connection is going to be okay today. Okay, so let's get cracking. Now, you know, last week we talked about procrastination, and that was really important, about how to start moving ahead when you're feeling as if you're a little bit stuck. You know, if you're getting easily distracted, but more importantly, we all have times in our lives when we feel as if there is something mulling around that we don't want any longer. But, you know, what is it? So what I think we'll concentrate on tonight is about the feelings, okay? So, you know, what are the feelings don't you want? Or more importantly, what are the feelings that you've got that you don't want? Because you've got to really start getting in touch with those feelings so that you know what it is that you've got that you don't want, and what it is that you want to replace it with that is going to be a lot better for you. And, you know, some days go better than others. And for me, for example, you know, the first part of my day seemed, you know, very chaotic. We are, you know, last night we were on a campsite in Edinburgh, and I woke up at about 1 o'clock in the morning with a tummy bug, and there was I in the cold toilet block on the campsite, sitting there thinking, how many hours am I going to be here? But hey, things subsided a little and I went back to bed, but then I did have to wake again, and well, I didn't have to, I did wake up again in the night with a bit of a dash out into the dark and the chilly night again. And then of course from there I woke up a bit late, and I was tired, and I'd got lots and lots to do this morning, and I was forgetting, you know, everything, or picking the wrong thing up, which was making me more anxious and more angry with myself. And then eventually I went off and had a shower, and just the warm water really cleansed me and helped me feel a lot better, until I forgot something else again. And it was just one of those mornings, but at the end of the day, it all worked out. I kept breathing and it all worked out. So when we are talking about wanting something different, you know, it's about really connecting with what it is that you don't want, if that makes sense. You know, and this is where going back to, you know, putting your hands on your heart. Sorry, I'm moving around a little bit here, but I'm just trying to hold the phone and my bits of paper and things. And yeah, really connecting with it, and trying to find out why you got those feelings. All right, so, you know, is it something that you've done? Is it something that you didn't do, that you could have done quite easily? You know, because, you know, like for me this morning, you know, yes, I woke up late, where I could have put my phone on, I could have put the alarm on my phone. If I put the alarm on my phone, I would have realised first thing this morning when I went out to walk my dogs and do my little Let's Talk introduction, that my battery was actually only on 1%, and I'd plugged it into a lead that wasn't working properly, which added some more anxiety. You know, so even though I was relying on my husband to wake me up, I could have actually done something about myself, which actually would have benefited me in more than one way. So that is why it's important to look within yourself to see what you could have done slightly differently. to make the little bit of stress a little bit easier. Okay, sometimes there isn't anything you can do because you're totally reliant on somebody else. You know, like the hire van that we hired this afternoon so that we could take our son out. It arrived late, and then the electrics weren't working on it properly. Well, that was nothing that I or my son or my husband could do anything about. That was entirely up to the hire company, wasn't it? You know, when we were luckily we were able between us to fix the problem, and eventually we were able to get on our way. So yes, it was frustrating. Yes, it was a little bit annoying, but at the end of the day it did get resolved, and we weren't as late as we thought we would be for our appointment. So sometimes it's about, just acknowledging the feelings that you've got, okay? But the acknowledgement comes from what it is that's giving you that feeling, and why have you got that feeling. And this is when it's important to be able to describe your feelings and your thoughts as accurately as you can, because then you're in a better position to move forwards. And then accept them. So it's acknowledge them and accept them, and accept the fact that you're annoyed, or you're pissed off, or you're pissed off with yourself or with somebody else, or whatever it is, because then you can move forwards a lot better. And then it's really thinking about, what is it that you want to replace those negative feelings and thoughts with? How do you want to be feeling instead? And it's about working with that. And so for me, for example, a lot of this is about breathing it out. Breathing in, and with the out breath you breathe out those negative feelings and those negative thoughts, and let them out into the open air and let them disperse. Because what they say, better out than in, and that is exactly the same with your thoughts and your feelings. Let them go, all right, because they're not going to do you any good at the end of the day. They're going to get you wound up. They're going to make you feel very negative and perhaps angry to other people that you don't want to be angry with, and it'll stop you getting on and having a more productive day. Okay, so it's going back to the feelings again, about what it is that you really want, and why do you want them? What is the benefit of having those feelings instead of the ones that you don't want? So, when you think about it like that, it's a very, very logical thought process, isn't it? But it's about following through, and then setting some little action plans of how are you going to get those feelings. Is it about, say for me, for example, setting my alarm clock the next time? Yeah? The poorly tummy, I had nothing to, that was something that I ate the night before, so that was beyond my control. But then the forgetfulness and not picking the right things up, that is just about me spending a little bit more time considering what I'm doing. Because I was rush, and that in the end made me very angry towards myself, because I wasn't as prepared as I would have liked to have been, over about a 2-hour period. Okay, and so then it's, why do you want it instead? Well, for me it was about, it just would have made my morning a lot easier. It would have meant a lot less frustration. It would have meant that, even though I was angry with myself, I was getting short with other people. Because our feelings and our thoughts affect our behaviour, and our behaviour affects other people, doesn't it? But if we can process better, if we can think more effectively, then it's going to make everybody's life a whole lot easier. Now I've got a nasty suspicion that I've had a little alarm bell to say that my battery life is getting a little bit low, but thankfully we're coming to the end of this session anyway. Okay, so acknowledge what you are thinking and feeling. Try and understand why you've got those feelings and what you want to replace them with instead, and then start taking action, because nothing changes unless you do something different or you think differently. Okay, really, really important. And then next week we're going to be talking about, I'm just going to refer to my bit of paper now, is how do I like myself better? Okay, I hear this an awful lot of the time. How do I like myself better? And that is on the 6th of June at 8 o'clock. So, have a good evening, have a good week, and start working on how you can change those negative feelings or thoughts or behaviours or those negative things in your life that are there and are frustrating you, and turning them into more positive things. So have a great evening, have a great week, and I will speak to you again on the 6th of June. Bye bye.